32 teams began the longest season in NFL history with the goal of making it to Super Bowl 56, and now 2 remain standing. Welcome to the Super Bowl edition of Betting with the Barbers. Ron Kruk, along with the stars of the show. We got Rondé Barber, the former Tampa Bay Buck, and of course, Tiki Barber, the former New York Giant. Guys, it's about time that Superbook Sports let us out and running amok here in Vegas. I had to break out the Superbook swag.
Where are your Joe Burrow diamonds on that Superbook?
And where's my cigar? That's the only thing you're missing right now, Ron.
That's coming up, guys. I'm working on a deal. We're going to get that done. I do need a cigar.
You
I feel
are
like
so
something.
pimp, man.
I'm telling you, dude.
Thank you.
Do you wear that at home? You have to wear that at home.
I do. I roll through. I roll through the neighborhood just wearing this. Guys, stop. Why are you laughing? That's true. That's
100% serious.
I'm feeling joy knowing that I actually really know you now.
Oh man, yeah. I feel like I've made it now that we're here at the Superbook at the Westgate here in Las Vegas. I mean, what a season it's been, guys. A lot of fun as we prepare for Super Bowl 56. And before we get to break down the big game, we'll talk prop bets, we'll talk a little bit of everything. Make sure you get to superbook.com and sign up today before the big game. They are offering a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. So if you want to get in on the action, get to superbook.com today before kickoff on Sunday. All right, guys. I feel like I need to take these off for a minute.
Probably good idea.
That's the guy I know.
There we go. Guys, before we break down Super Bowl 56 and the matchup between the 2 number 4 seeds, the Rams and the Bengals, both of you had the opportunity to play in the Super Bowl, of course. Tiki back at Super Bowl 35, Rondé Super Bowl 37. Let's get your thoughts on just some of the memories that you have of that time. And Tiki, we'll start with you.
Other than hanging out with my brother, because that one was in Tampa, my Super Bowl was not very memorable, except for Ray Charles saying "America the Beautiful," and I was standing right there, and it was the most unbelievable rendition of that song I've ever heard live. And then it all went downhill as the Baltimore Ravens beat the crap out of us in that Super Bowl. But you know what? It was a great week. You understand how big the stage is, the media from across the world. I mean, Japan and China, where media members are there asking you questions. The game starts, you realize that you're on this massive stage. So the feeling is unbelievable. Winning, I don't know, but being there was amazing.
Yeah, so to, counter his Super Bowl experience, winning. That's what I remember about my Super Bowl.
Ouch. This is what they do.
Well, I'll tell you this. The only Super Bowl other than the one that I played in that I've been to was his Super Bowl. I've never been to a Super Bowl other than the ones that I've had to work. I worked one for Fox Sports, which I didn't stay at. We actually went to a friend's house, CC Sabathia's house, and watched the game. Name drop, humble brag. I went to his game and I left at halftime because it was awful. It was awful.
Is that love or is that just?
That's real. That's real.
Is that sympathy?
That's real.
What is that?
I'm not sure. That's brotherly love there.
I'll give you my best Super Bowl memory because I think when we won our Super Bowl, it was a foregone conclusion that we were going to win our Super Bowl after we won the NFC Championship game. Oakland had no chance. We had their ex-head coach. We knew all their plays, yada, yada, yada.
Sure.
As much hyperbole as you want to put on that as you can. But at halftime, after John gave his little 5-minute, keep doing what you're doing speech, I went and watched the halftime show on TV.
Come on. Well, hopefully someone took the over on punts in your Super Bowl because that was a lot.
Yes, we hit it ourselves. In fact, my Tiki and Tierney on WFAN, shameless plug, 10 to 2.
Well done.
On local radio. He did all the prop bets in my Super Bowl 2000. He hit like 14 of them.
Come on.
Including back-to-back kickoff returns. Which actually happened.
Yeah.
Jermaine Lewis returned one after Ron Dixon returned one for us.
That had to be, that was a big payday there. Crazy.
Last game of the year, man. Everything happened. Anything happens.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to in our prop bets.
Oh, yeah. We're going to hit on the prop bets. And, we've done 23 episodes, guys. We've made countless picks. some spot on, some maybe not so much. We've been up and down, but now we get to the Super Bowl and the final two teams, the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, as we set this up, the majority of Super Bowls, we see teams just steamrolling their competition to get to this point. Not the case with this Super Bowl. You've got, the Rams almost blew a 24-point lead against Tampa Bay, needed a dropped interception against San Francisco to get to the big game. And the Bengals, well, they had to have an epic comeback and maybe even a even bigger epic meltdown by the Chiefs to get to where they are today. The Rams, just a few stats coming into their 5th Super Bowl. This is their 2nd appearance in the past 4 years. They've won 1. That was when they were in St. Louis. There was a bitter St. Louis fan on the plane with me who said, "Go Bengals." They did not want anything to do with the Rams.
They left us.
Exactly. She was mad. She was real mad. Bengals hoping to end years of misery. They're one of 12 teams who never won the Super Bowl, 0-2 in the big game. Rams went 10-10 against the spread this year, covered 2 out of their last 5, and this number really stood out to me, guys. Bengals 13-7 against the spread. That's covering 65% of the time. They've also covered the spread in their last 7 games. So that leads us to the Super Bowl and current lines here at Superbook at Westgate. The line has opened up at 4, 4.5. It went down to 3.5. Right now, guys, as of this recording, it is at -4. The over/under at 48.5. So there's the setup.
Yeah, so I think Cincinnati, the reason they've covered so many times this year is because nobody trusted them. They were a 4-1 team last year, right? And we'll do this a little bit different than we've done it all year long. I'm gonna take the Rams here real quick. So the Rams started off in the playoff run, and look, we've said this all season long. They sold their soul to go to the Super Bowl this year. They sacrificed everything about their future to win. And you go get Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, through the last month of the year, has been pretty good, right? So they have to play Arizona. It was a cakewalk. It seems like Arizona shouldn't have been in the playoffs. I think we mentioned that even before that.
The wild card round.
Yes, the wild card game was nothing. They go to Tampa Bay, should have blown them out. That should have been a 40-10 game in Tampa, but turnovers. Cam Akers had a couple of turnovers. Bucks get back in it, a close game. They win it at the
Some guy named Tom Brady
end.
did something.
And then the Rams go and conquer their nemesis, really. They hadn't beaten San Francisco 49ers in 6 games, and they completely changed their defense. I'll give a lot of credit to Raheem Morris, and this is shameless because Raheem's my guy. He was my coach in Tampa for a lot of years. They were a too-high shell team that just got eaten up by the run against San Francisco. And what do? They go get a dude off the street, Eric Weddle, who's been retired. How many years has he been retired?
Driving his kids around.
And they know that he can't play coverage in the middle of the field or on the half field. They put him in a box. They play 3 high, and they stifle the San Francisco 49ers run game and win that game. So you have to give coaching its due at some point.
Good point.
And in this year for the Los Angeles Rams, they have made all the right judgments in terms of personnel, coaching, hires, whatever. I mean, they lost their defensive coordinator last year. They go get a guy that comes and makes their defense better. They go get Von Miller. Their defense gets better. To me, they seem like a team of destiny. And in the NFC, if you asked me at the beginning of the year, I'd say this is where they should have been.
Yeah, the problem is the Cincinnati Bengals feel like a team of fate.
Yes.
It seems like no matter what they do or have done wrong.
How wrong they do.
Exactly. They still find ways to win. Now, some context in their division. The reason that they were able to finish with 10 wins, 10-7 this year, is because their division went really south really quickly.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Ravens had been dominating. They were trending towards being an AFC championship squad for the next 5 years.
The favorite. Sure.
They had a ton of injuries. COVID ravaged them. Lamar Jackson missed, 5 games because of illness, COVID and other illnesses. They just fell apart. The Cleveland Browns, who knows what happened to them?
Yeah.
I mean,
They lost OBJ. That's what it was.
yeah, that's definitely what it was. They really lost. No, what it was is Baker Mayfield lost his mojo. We know that the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, he was shot. He retired, half a year too late.
Yeah.
But so they kind of got the benefit of being in a very bad division, which allowed them to get into the postseason where things just fell right for them. Right. First game of the postseason, they get a fortuitous call on a a loose ball in play.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yes.
ever heard of that.
Yeah.
But it allowed them to beat the Raiders by a touchdown. Then they played maybe the most overrated #1 seed in the history of the postseason, and the Tennessee Titans, who held on, Mike Vrabel, Coach of the Year, give him his due, to the #1 seed in the AFC, but they were just the better team, right, in that game. And then they played the Kansas City Chiefs. And when you talked about this, you alluded to it, the Kansas City Chiefs ran out of ideas. And you saw it at the end of the first half of the AFC Championship game. They had no idea how to score.
Yeah.
The second half, they run 18 plays before the last drive and had 34 net yards. 18 plays, 34 net yards, 3 punts, and an interception. That's what the Kansas City Chiefs did before they had 14 plays and kicked the game-tying field goal. So,
Which, by the way, their defense, give their defense credit.
Yes.
They had 1st and 5 on the 5.
but that's
with a
my
minute and a
point.
half.
True.
But that's my
Good point.
So the difference for this Bengals team is that Lou Anarumo, who is their defensive coordinator, has a bunch of veteran cast-offs from all over the league, whether it's the Eli Apples of the world or whoever it may be.
Trey Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson, who does one thing, hits you in your
Kills
chest and runs you over, and he gets to the quarterback, right? But he's got these veteran players who can adjust at halftime. Post-halftime, in this postseason, the Cincinnati Bengals have given up 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown.
It's impressive.
Post halftime. So the halftime adjustments are real. They trust their coach. He trusts their players, and they're able to adjust. That's how they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. So when I look at this Bengals team, I don't like them. But I look at it on paper, I'm like, the Rams are going to destroy them, right? But they just have that little it that a lot of teams can't ever identify. They have it.
That's a great point. And there's just, you get that feeling of, is this the team of destiny?
Yes.
Why is everything going their way? Well, a lot of the bettors out there, they are the big time guys. The wise guys are throwing some money on Cincinnati on the money line. That's according to John Murray here at Superbook at the Westgate. So that leads it to, I feel like I got to put these back on, guys. We got to put our money where our mouth is. So I'm gonna just make sure. Here you go. You guys go have some fun. All right. Money where our mouth is. Let's make some picks. Current odds right now, according to Superbook, is -4 the LA Rams. The point total 48.5. All right. Who wants to go first? I always throw it to Tiki, but you guys.
Let Rhonda go
there
first. He exited first.
So, put it this way: on paper, you're an idiot, really, if you don't take the Rams. The Rams are the better football team. They have better talent. They technically have better coaching. Guys that have been there. The Rams were in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Like I said about the Cincinnati Bengals, they were a 4-win team, kind of listless a year ago, and here they are surprising everybody in the Super Bowl. So if you're betting with your mind, you're betting the Los Angeles Rams. But there's something about Joe Burrow. He has not lost a game in a playoff situation ever, right? High school, college, and the pros. Now, is that indicative of what's going to happen in this game? I don't think so, but it gives you pause, and I think there's a reason why this line has stayed at 4, 3.5, 4.5 in that area, when really your conscience is telling you that the Rams should blow them out. Now, I love the Matthew Stafford story, right? He comes from Detroit. He hasn't won a playoff game in his career. He comes to a team that has a purpose and their intention. Tiki talks about this all the time. Winning is intentional. The Rams have done something this year that the Bucs did last year. They intentionally went out to win a Super Bowl with the players that they got in the offseason, and they put themselves in that situation. So when I look at this matchup, I still think it's the Rams, and I like the points. I take the Rams in the points in this game. I know this defense in Cincinnati has played well over time. You talked about Trey Hendrickson. He has 16.5 sacks in 19 games. Who was this guy in New Orleans, right? Who was he?
Yeah.
But they found a way on defense. Von Bell has that major interception at the end of the Kansas City game. Who was he in New Orleans? Nobody knew or cared who he was. And now he's an important player on this team. But I just think there's too many weapons. I think in the middle of November, the Los Angeles Rams decided that they were not just going to be a team that lines up in 11 personnel and throws the ball all day long. They committed to the run. Sony Michel had a great year. Cam Akers comes in the postseason, and they still continue to beat down the run, and at least a play action pass. It eliminated all those turnovers that Matthew Stafford was having at the end of the year, and they look like a team that should win and win by a lot. So I'm taking the Rams.
So this is big too, folks, because this man rode the Cincinnati Bengals for a long time, and you did very well. They covered 7 straight games.
I know.
So was this difficult?
This was difficult for me because I'm a fan of the Cincinnati Bengals. One of my best friends, Joe Hudipole, Olympic swimmer by the way, is going to the game, and he's like begging me to pick the Bengals, but I can't. This is a game that I think the Rams should win and win handedly.
All right, Tiki, you're up.
So, I think I've learned my lesson of the last couple of weeks. Whatever Rondé says, I got to do it at this point. I mean, I was going to do the Rams anyways, but I'm glad you switched from the year of the Tiger, the Chinese New Year, the year of the Tiger that last week.
That was great.
You propped everybody up to think you were going to stick with the Bengals. Instead, you go the other way.
I know. He did
I got to
break
go
it
the
up
other way as well. I got to go with the Rams to cover the 4. And really, it's because of everything he said offensively, but defensively, what Raheem Morris has done to create one-on-one matchups with Aaron Donald is it's magnificent. So Leonard Ford's a linebacker. We know he comes off the edge. He's an edge rusher sometimes. And you think, we got Von Miller on one side, we got Leonard Ford coming off the edge on the other, and we got Aaron Donald in the middle. They're going to double Aaron because you can't afford. You know what they do? They're selfless. And so what Leonard Floyd does is he says, all right, I don't need to get to the quarterback, but that guard that's got to block Aaron Donald, I'm going to hit him in his jaw, simply so Aaron Donald can loop around on a game and be one-on-one with a tackle who he can't block him because he's coming at an odd angle, and he's going to get home. And so we've seen the Rams manufacture success for their best players. The same thing happens in the secondary. Now, I don't know what Jalen Ramsey's going to do in this game. Is he going to follow Cooper Kupp? Maybe he should go. Jamar Chase. He's going to follow Jamar Chase.
He probably follows Cooper Kupp in practice.
He probably
he definitely does. But you know what I mean? Is he going to follow Jamar Chase? Is he going to stay interiorly and take away the middle of the field because those are the easiest throws for young quarterbacks? How are they going to use him? But I trust Raheem Morris because he's done this for the last 3 or 4 weeks to create something that the Bengals haven't seen. And given that their offensive line, the Bengals' offensive line, is a wreck, especially their right guard, and they give up 9 sacks in a game, and somehow we're able to win it.
Incredible.
I think that Joe Burrow is going to be frustrated. I think he's going to get flummoxed. I think he's going to turn into a quarterback that we haven't seen, and really, in his, 24 starts going into last year in this game. I like the Rams as well, and there's some other props that we'll get into. One of them is for the Rams alternate line to blow them out. It's a big number. It might be worth looking at.
Save it. That's coming up. Before you get to that, remember, get to superbook.com, sign up today. Before the big game, they are offering a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. All right. Tiki going with the Rams. Rondé going with the Rams. Oh, man, I've gone back and forth, guys. I've gone back and forth all week. And a lot of it is because of that Joe Burrow thing and the team of destiny and covering 7 straight games. However, everything that I have learned about football and heard throughout the years is games are won in the trenches, right? Sure. The offensive line versus the defensive line. And when you look at that, it's a disaster when you look at the Bengals offensive line. The scary defensive front of the Rams should dominate. Maybe you can stop Von Miller, but then you've got 2 other guys to deal with. I think that's going to be the key to this game. We talked about, we had a season-long bet, a contest. Chris Alonso from Texas was our winner, and he just asked a simple question, guys. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. True or false? What did you 2 say?
It's always defense. It's 100% defense. And so if you're asking that question, who is the better defense? It is the Rams.
Yes.
They have more talent. They have arguably the best 3 individual rushers
100%.
in the NFL going against an offensive line that is scary. And Zach Taylor has a history with Sean McVay. Yes, we understand this, but he has worked his system to the benefit of his quarterback, and that is drop back passing. You know who that doesn't help? His offensive line.
That's right. So, but the question was yes or no. You could have just went with
Yes.
defense. Yes. There you go.
I mean, statistically,
Listen.
Hold on. Statistically, if you go back over the history of all the Super Bowls, 55 years, 76% of game-winning
I knew you would have
teams
that.
Yes.
I knew you'd have
have
that.
had a Hall of Fame level quarterback. The other teams that won, that didn't have, like your team and the Ravens that beat me, they had an all-time defense. So you either have to have an all-time defense or a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Three or four Hall of Famers on defense?
Yeah, like your Buccaneers.
We had 3.
And they need more. Absolutely. Listen, I mean, bottom line, I'm with you. Defense wins champion. A Bronco fan. I've seen it happen. What did the Broncos do to Cam Newton and the Panthers in Super Bowl 50? They dominated and they got the win. I also saw the Legion of Boom, the Seattle Seahawks, crush Peyton Manning and that #1 ranked Bronco offense.
That's right.
It's all about the defense. So I'm going to make it a clean sweep. I'm taking the Rams minus the 4. We're going to make it rain. Look at this. I'm just throwing money around. Everybody, money for you, money for you, money for you, money for you. You got to pay attention there, John. There we go. So our 3 picks, we're all going with the Rams, but part of the fun, guys, of course, is the prop bets that are offered by Superbook. And here at the Westgate, I mean, this place is rocking and offering 469 unique prop bets. I might just wager on every one. I might just go nuts and just.
I was walking through.
Yes.
I was walking through on the way in here, and everybody had that prop bet sheet.
Where is that thing?
Where is that thing? Look how
This
thick
thing
that
is
thing
heavy.
is.
I mean, come on.
My scouting reports for games weren't that big.
I'm telling you. Look, you get to the back end of this one,
Yeah.
and there's one that I'm really, really interested to talk about.
All right, well, let's get there. Let's talk about our prop bets. Let's start with you, Tiki. You're excited about this
So there's a couple
one.
that I like, but the one that I wouldn't look at, but if you're a Cincinnati Bengal fan and you have such faith in Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins, and Joe Mixon to just go bonkers in this game and blow out the Los Angeles Rams, you got to take John's plus 1,100 for an alternative line of minus 17.5. If you love the Cincinnati Bengals and you think the Cincinnati Bengals is just going to lay it down on the Rams, that's the best value in that book. That's the best value in that book.
I love
If
it.
you find that guy who's laying down that bet, I'm going to go buy him a drink. he's going to need it.
That's right. My favorite prop bets, though, that Superbook is offering are twofold. One, and they're unique, that either team scores in the first 3.5 minutes. I think both of these teams are explosive. They have the ability to get down the field really quick. Now, they don't necessarily play this way, but they have the ability to get down the field really, really quick. So that either team scoring before the 3.5 minute mark is plus 425. So
I
if you
like
think
it.
one of these teams is going to score quickly,
Yeah.
that's a great bet. You throw 100 on that, you quadruple your money. That's worth it. The other one that I really love, and it's a hedge a little bit on that one, is if you think
Smart.
one of these quarters, either first, second, third, or fourth quarter, is going to be scoreless. So any quarter is scoreless by either team, that's plus 375. Wow. I think either one of those could happen. So those are my two favorites.
I love it. I love it. A lot of people are expecting this to be a shootout, so
So
it's going to be some scoring.
mine are not offense or defense related. I'm going to go with special teams. So there's a bet out there.
okay.
And this is the easiest one for me because it gives us a chance to talk about the kickers in this game. McPherson has had a phenomenal
Crazy.
postseason. He's 12 for 12, right? He's had 4 field goals in each of their playoff games.
Well, that
right?
tells you a little bit of conservative nature about these coaches, too.
Still,
though.
but the over/under on him for kicks for field goals made is 1.5.
Oh,
Take the over,
right?
He's
Know that.
screaming to take it. It's like free money. right
Free
now.
money. I see the line just
It's
changing
like
right
going
now
right
as he says it.
The other one, and you'll like this because the Los Angeles Rams for years, the Rams, even the St. Louis Rams back in the day when your boy John Fossil was the special teams coach, always had trick plays on special teams. It is plus 600 that Johnny Hecker throws a pass, the punter for the Rams.
Oh, wow.
That is a
Deep
good one.
dive.
And like I said at the beginning of the show, in the Super Bowl, anything goes. You're not worried about what you put on film. It doesn't matter. Johnny Hecker is a great thrower. I guarantee you he throws a
That's
pass
like
in this
page
game.
37 in here. I mean, that's the insight you get on betting with the Barbers. I love that one. Fantastic.
Yeah, man.
All right, well, my favorite bet that I have done for 15 plus years is I've always taken, yes, there will be a safety. And you used to get back in the day 9-1 odds, and then it went on this run, crazy run where I believe it hit 3 out of 4 years. I know it hit 3 straight years,
yeah.
ending with the hike over Peyton Manning's head
yes,
with
yes.
the only positive thing from that Super Bowl that I enjoyed. But it's down to 7-1 odds now. That's too easy. So I like 2. Here's my smaller one. We talk about the Bengals offensive line being a disaster, going against that defensive front of the Rams. The sack total sits at 5 sacks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going above that. Matthew Stafford was sacked 17 times this year. If they can get 1 sack, that means the Rams just have to get, a sack per quarter. I think they're going to get a few more. Yeah, exactly. So I like the over on the sack total, but the one that I'm really looking at is Matthew Stafford. Will he throw an interception? Yes, he will. He will force something at some point. And the Bengals defense has been, especially in the playoffs, really good about creating some
Well,
turnovers.
if the Bengals are going to win this game, if you're one of those bettors that's choosing the Bengals against all of our recommendations, the only way they stay in this game or get close to winning is if they take the ball away. It's the only way.
Great point. Yep. I'm a little disappointed. There was one you can combine sports. Liverpool total goals versus Van Jefferson receptions. How about that? I thought you'd be all over that.
So Liverpool is playing.
Oh, no, we don't have time. We don't have time. We're going to save that for the off-season version of Betting with the Barbers.
Oh, I know
be
one. If Man U's going to tie a game, because that's all they do now. Freaking tie games.
It's going to be fantastic. All right, guys. Well, as we're wrapping up this edition of Betting with the Barbers, make sure that you get to superbook.com. Download the app, and again, this is the time to do it. Sign up because Superbook is offering a 100% initial deposit match up to $1,000. Guys, what a great year. This has been a blast. For me personally, it's been an honor to work with you two. A lot of fun. I hope that we can continue to do some special shows here and there before we kick off next season.
Golf season's right around the corner, right?
It's
saying.
every day.
Somebody here likes golf.
Yeah.
Plays golf. Might be a general chairman of a golf tournament. Let's talk golf.
What's the over-under on rounds he plays here in Vegas, guys? Can somebody?
What's the over-under on amount of liquor sold at the Waste Management Open this week?
Oh my gosh! I was just in Phoenix. I mean, it carried all the way up to Phoenix. That was a party. It was crazy. Guys, thank you so much. What a blast! Quickly, we got to thank some people who made this show happen. Of course, the Vice President of Marketing, Kristen Mackey. And everyone celebrated our incredible producer and the creator of Bucket O Bets. Do not fall for it. I mean, this guy was the original Mike Rigg. We appreciate it. John Hogland always getting it done and doing our producing and editing. Our head odds makers, Jay Cornegay and John Murray here at the Westgate and Superbook. We couldn't have done it without them, but you two are the stars of the show. Well done.
Wow, it's good to be with you. It's finally good to know you.
Isn't it crazy?
All these months, we finally see face to face.
They finally let me out.
By the
that
way,
was
don't
great.
forget to watch the halftime show. Snoop, Dre, Mary J.
So pumped for that.
Best prop bet that's not here is whether or not Snoop's gonna,
blunt it up.
We got to get that on the board out there. All right, guys, thank you so much, man. Fantastic stuff. Keep it. Make sure you're following Superbook online at Superbook Sports and at Betting with the Barbers. For the Super Bowl edition of Betting with the Barbers, I'm Ron Kruk with Tiki Barber and Rondé Barber. Enjoy the game.